Amen.
But what's going on? Where do we go? Where'd that go?
You are watching. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let us know who you are, where you from, how you tuning in, where you tuning in from. Speak, say something. How you doing? Let us know how you doing today. We, as you can see, we've been working through some things. So just let us know how you doing.
Yeah. To it. Hey, Omesha.
Hi.
How you doing, girl?
I'm good. I'm
My
good.
goodness. For those of you who just joined, please again just let us know that you're here. Share the video, like the video. Y'all gonna laugh at the beginning, okay? Because we just cracked
We might go
all the way up. We can go viral. That's fine. Because when you come back, it's gonna be on point, okay?
Listen.
But anyway, introduce yourself to us and let us know the inspiration for your book, y'all. And her book, y'all, is Journey to the Promised Land. Right?
Yes.
All right.
What am I just telling you? Like what?
The inspiration for the
okay.
book.
So back in 2020, I used to do art. I think you guys have art for me. Mm-hmm. Back then, I used to.
Yeah, we definitely got a painting hanging up.
I'm retired though, so no inquiries. I'm not accepting. But I used to do art. Especially I specialize in like resin art, and I did a piece for Kiera Sheard as a gift. I did a piece for Kiera Sheard as a gift, and she had a new song at the time called "It Keeps Happening for Me," where she talks about just different things that she's expecting God to do, like her family and her just different things. So I got the idea to do a painting inspired from the song, and I named it "The Promised Land." And from then, it kind of like activated something for me. And so from the painting, I did like apparel. So I had like t-shirts and hoodies and everything. And I wanted to do a book, but I didn't really know what to do because my first book was a children's book. So I'm like, a memoir is a lot of words. I don't know. I don't know if I have that much to say. I don't know where to start. So I kind of like typed a little bit, and then I put it away for a couple of years. And then I think Pastor Bill has preached a message about the promised land, like from the Bible, and it kind of like reactivated what I wanted to do as far as like the book and everything. So yeah. So it started with the painting, and then it kind of activated something for me and what I was believing God for at the time.
Okay. Yeah. So Journey to the Promised Land, how long did it take you to actually write this book?
Once I got serious and started for real, a little over a year. I think I started in like March or something of last year. And I initially was going to have a ghostwriter because, again, I didn't feel confident that I could do it and do it well. And I didn't want it to be something where, because I'm an independent author, like I don't have a publishing company or anything, yeah. And I didn't want it to be obvious that I did the book myself. Like I didn't want that to be an obvious thing. I wanted to do it in excellence. So again, I wasn't confident that I could write it myself. So I had reached out to someone to basically, I told them my story and they write it for me. And then she started, but it didn't really work out. So I'm like, well, nobody can tell my story the way I can. So she started, and it was a great help. I was able to like finish the book, but off of what she had already started for me.
I like that. I never thought about a ghostwriter.
Yeah.
I mean, you hear about them all the time with like rap artists.
Yeah.
Man, they ghostwriter.
And there's probably a lot of people that have ghostwriters you just don't know because they're ghosts. So you don't tell people that you hired a ghostwriter. People think you wrote it, but somebody wrote it for you.
Yeah. So once you got it done and completed and everything, what was the best part about writing this book?
Being done. Yeah. Being done. Just the excitement of having it having it done after so many years of like having the idea
Mm-hmm.
and then finally having it in this completed stage where people could read it
And enjoy it.
and then yeah.
I know
So
that.
like the feedback of like I know you just bought it, but can you go ahead and read it like right now? So
Yeah, let me know how it was. Yeah.
like I live for the feedback.
Did you want people to tell you how it was?
I do, and if you read it, I don't. I like tell me what you think. I
Yeah.
want to. My love language is words of affirmation. So I live. I don't want to say I live for feedback, but tell me what you think.
Tell me
Like
what you think. Yeah. Tell me about
even
it.
if you don't tell me, put it on Amazon so I can go look and see
Yeah.
what you
Have
think.
you been getting those Amazon posts?
I have like 7, so
Okay.
I know more to tell people about this book. So
Okay.
go ahead and.
So I'm gonna flip it now. What was the hardest thing about writing this book? I know you gave us your backstory about how long it took, but
the hardest part. Okay, so there, I feel like there was 2 hard parts. So one of the, you know how some people like don't like to hear themselves talk,
oh yeah,
and that's me kind of. So I might not listen to it. So I'm just playing. I'm gonna listen, but watch it on mute. I did not like going back to read it. Like you had to read it to edit, and I'm like, can I just like let somebody else do it? I don't. But it's I had to go back and like I had an editor, but I also had to go back and make sure she didn't miss anything, or if it's not something that I wanted to. So. And I think one of the reasons why, like when I got the hard copy and I read it, I was like, dang, how did I miss this? Because when you were ready to like upload the document to print, you didn't go back and like read everything through
right.
to make sure there were no typos. I was just like, here you go. I didn't like, and I've talked to other authors as well, and it's like they don't like to read that. Like I don't know, I just didn't like going back and. I don't know if it was because it was just tedious or what. And it's not like super long, but for some reason I didn't like going back to read it. And I've read it a couple times just for the editing part. Will I read it now that it's done? I don't know because I know what happened. I know what happened. But also another part that was hard was just getting over the fear of possible opinions of people.
Wow.
Yeah.
If they talking to friends and just they like, girl, you get out of your head. They probably not even gonna read this book. I mean, like the people that I fear of they're probably not because it would be supporting me,
right?
You know, so
But on the flip side, they might be nosy.
They might. So, but you know, I ain't got. So you know, I feel like, and I even like had a dream, and I reached out to somebody to see what the dream was about. She was like, you're fearful of something that's going to happen. You're fearful of something happening that's not going to happen. So nothing. And I guess that was true because you know all the things that I was like, I'm like, what if they show up to this? What if they do this? Like, what if they? So I mean, it could, but so just the fear of because of the I'm trying to think of the right word. The details of the book and then the person that is included in the story who's no longer here, it was kind of like a sensitive topic because it's like, you know, no, this is not a tell-all. This is not like something to make someone else look bad.
Right.
They just happen to be a part of my story, and I'm not gonna not include it just because they're not here to defend themselves.
That part right there is always hard. Like when you're trying to tell your story,
I was like,
there's other people involved in your story,
and I just had to be like, if you wanted a better part in my story, then you should have been a better person in my story. Like I wouldn't have nothing to tell if you ain't do nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Do right.
But we're all like you're a hero and a villain in someone's. Like you could be a hero in one person's story and a villain in somebody. So I know I'm a villain in somebody's story. So you know.
Absolutely, my God. Absolutely. So like with you talking about that, or is there any hesitation in writing this book?
A little. But I believe with my whole heart that God had given me the permission to do it. Like there was no like, oh, does he want me to do it? Or, you know, because my intentions were pure. It was never like to bash anybody or, you know, because I didn't put nobody, if you don't know who I was married to, you don't know who I'm talking about. I didn't say no names. Like I barely put a city name or anything unless it was talking specifically about where I'm from. But I didn't say anything that would like identify who he was. So I knew my intentions were pure. So I didn't really like I was gonna do it regardless. Like
Yeah.
It says from walking in disobedience to walking in faith. I wasn't not gonna do it. So
Yeah, I like that.
Right.
yeah,
Walking in obedience.
yeah,
And obedience don't make everybody happy.
yeah, exactly.
Including yourself sometimes.
Right. So
Okay, so what was your favorite part of the book?
um just hearing the feedback and like it confirmed that I did the right thing. Like hearing the feedback of how like it inspired people or it helped people or they could relate. That was my favorite part because it's like it wasn't in vain. Like I didn't do it for nothing.
I like that.
So that's your favorite part about writing the book.
Yeah.
But as you were reading it and rereading it,
Oh,
what was your favorite part of
the favorite part of the book. I liked. So I did try to add a little humor in there, but so I started from like when I was a kid. One of my favorite parts was thinking about my childhood and how I had like you know how some of us had imaginary friends.
Mhm.
I had imaginary children.
Okay.
I had triplets, and I'm like, Lord, don't do that for me. Okay, like you could give me double for my trouble, but I had 3 triplets. I'm not gonna say the name because it's so dope. You have to read the book to find out their names. But
Yeah,
I had 3 imaginary children.
Okay.
What was the ages though? You got
They were like toddlers. So I just vividly remember being in the store with my grandma. And she was leaving. I'm like, y'all come on before we get left. Like, come on. In my mind, like I don't know how long I had these kids, but I'm like, but I also remember making up kids' names like from 5th grade. And again, like I wasn't like doing anything to physically create children in 5th grade, but I like listen, but I always like I would like write down names. I would like combine names together, like okay, you know, just making up names. They ain't had no last name because but
too much.
I
just get the first name.
But they've changed over time. But that part, and then just like seeing the outcome, like the other side of so seeing me in the disobedience and anything and all the things that happen, and then me on the other side of it.
Yeah, on the other side of
this.
this.
On the other side of it. Absolutely.
All right. So, what do you hope people will take away from your book?
I hope people take away that your disobedience does not disqualify you from the promise.
That's good.
That's so good.
Say it again.
Your disobedience does not disqualify you from the promise that God has for you.
Somebody put that in the chat. Somebody, if you're watching, add that to the chat. Your disobedience doesn't disqualify you from the promise.
Absolutely.
It might delay it, but it won't disqualify.
It might delay, but you won't be disqualified. I love it. Any advice to anyone else who might be thinking about writing a book, this kind of book, or a book like this?
Make sure that you're doing it for the right reason, like that you're not doing it to prove a point or to revenge or to prove a point, expose. Like make sure God has given you the okay to write the book, and that you keep your intentions pure. Because there were moments where I'm like, "Ooh, I hope they read it so they can like, you know." So I had to make sure I kept my intentions pure. Like it's not for you. It's not for you. Like, so make sure you keep your intentions pure.
Yeah, that's real.
Dang.
Yeah.
Make sure your intentions are pure.
Yeah. Absolutely, because you don't want to just be out here all willy-nilly.
Yeah, because then if you do it, when he didn't tell you to, then your protection is gone. Like if you do it in obedience, he will protect you from backlash or whatever, or prepare you for it or cover you in it or whatever. But if you do it outside of his will, then what happens after that is kind of like on you because he ain't tell you to do it.
I'm about to say you done came out of disobedience and then you done went back in.
Exactly.
Sitting there walking in the flesh.
Yeah. So what else can we be looking out for? What's going on with Miss Omesha?
Well, as far as I'm really just looking for different ways to like get the book out there. I'm considering apparel at some point, so
Ooh.
um, stay on the lookout for that. I don't know yet, but I think it's gonna come probably the end of the year. We'll see.
I like that.
Yeah,
Me too.
just other things to kind of accompany
Yeah.
the book. Yeah.
Because it's a story.
Yeah.
So it all kind of goes together.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything else?
That sounds like a movie
Business-wise?
too.
A movie.
A movie?
Listen, Tyler Perry.
If you listen,
If you listening,
Somebody tell me.
You
Oprah.
gotta buy the book first, though, Tyler.
Yeah.
A couple of them.
Listen, what's your address? I'll
All
send it
of
to you
them.
for free. Just read it in your spare time. I will say, I learned that there was provision in my obedience. So I wrote the book, and I wanted it to be out last year. Like at first, I was like, okay, we'll do like November, December, and then it kept getting pushed back. I was like, okay, we're gonna do 2024 and March 4th. And then I was like, I haven't really prayed about when I should do this. So I was like, hey, hey Lord, if there's another date that you would like for me to do this, then let me know. And June immediately was like popped in my head, and I was like, June, like that's like a lot of months past when I wanted to do this. Like, so I know that won't me because I'm ready to get this out right now. And I was like, okay, so when in June? And he was like, June 30th. I was like, so not only in June, but basically July. And I'm like, why June? I was like, what's June 30th? And it was so I don't want to spoil it, but it was the day that my son was born. So June 30th was his birth date. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. So, and then even though I wanted to put it out early, I was like, I dare not put it out on that date because that's when he's giving me the date to do it. And when I tell you that a lot of the things that I would have had to pay for were people blessed me with, like the venue. They offered, like, they texted me and was like, we would like to offer our boutique for your book signing. Wow. I didn't have to pay for that. My makeup, I asked someone to do my makeup. I was like, how much? She was like, don't worry about it. Yeah. The person that did my pictures and my content, I was like, how much? She was like, don't worry about it. Yeah. The person who did Miss Tiffany, she did the charcuterie boards in the backdrop. I paid for this charcuterie, but the backdrop, she was like, I would like to bless you with the backdrop. I was like, so a lot of things that I would have had to pay for otherwise, like they were blessed. I was blessed with them. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I do too. Provision and obedience.
Yeah.
Now make sure that y'all check out Journey to the Promised Land. Okay. Make sure that you go get it. Ain't she cute on here?
I have the book on hand, so if you follow me, you can follow me OME _OHMY on Instagram. You can DM me. I have a whole bunch of copies on hands. But it's also available on Amazon. So yeah.
You can go to her website.
Yes, right? www.omeshag.com.
Yeah, and it's scroll at the bottom so y'all can see that. And again, you can follow her on Facebook.
Yes, well. Omesha R. Gaynor.
And Instagram too.
Yes.
Yeah. So again, make sure y'all pick up that book. Yeah. Okay.
And let me know what you think.
She got copies on hand. Go straight to the author and get the copies.
Absolutely. So we thank you for sitting down with us, talking to. We got through it.
Yes,
we did. With the help of the Lord.
If y'all saw the beginning, y'all already know what we're talking about. Okay. Yeah. Thank you again, Omesha.
Yeah.
We are proud of you.
Oh, thank
Super
you.
Proud.
Thank you.
Proud of you. I'm excited for you too. Y'all, she's also a comedian.
Yeah, I was waiting for that. I was waiting
okay.
I didn't know she was gonna cross the screen.
No.
Like that.
Yes, I am a comedian. So if you're looking for a clean comic, let me know. Hit me up.
Yeah,
and I'm available.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna try this one more time before we leave because I got to make sure that the people know who sponsors us for real. So once more, y'all, and let me pull up myself so I can make sure I'm telling y'all the right things. All right. Um, we got some sponsors that we want y'all to meet.
Hey y'all, meet our sponsors. Xpressions LLC, based in Greensboro, North Carolina, a place for local artists and business owners to be seen, be heard, and express yourself. Or simply come out and enjoy a night full of clean, positive, and or Christ-centered entertainment. You can find them and follow them on Facebook, YouTube, and on Instagram, or visit their website at www.expressionswithanx.llc.org. Prophetic Creations, a small faith-based home and design business working to help the vision of your home, office, or event become a reality by offering both interior and exterior makeovers, custom wreaths, and so much more. You can follow them on Facebook and contact them by email at jcousin0718@outlook.com. Heavenly Bubbles, a local vehicle detailing service, bringing the cleanliness to you. That's right, this mobile detailing business is ready to help you cruise the streets with a shine that people will certainly notice and ask about. Make sure you tell them to follow them on Facebook or text or call 336-987-6746 or 336-389-8189. These are our sponsors.
All right, you guys. We thank y'all for joining us again for another episode of Beyond Expressions. Make sure that you do what, babe?
Like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so every time we drop new content, you'll be the first one to know.
Absolutely, y'all. We love y'all. Ain't nothing y'all can do about it. All right. Just make sure y'all come back the next time.
Yes.
We'll see y'all next
Come on
Saturday.
back.
Okay. All right, y'all. Bye.
Peace.